things appeared differently. He said his youngest daughter was sitting in his mother's lap, and she was then about 4 or 5, and this child was feeling her grandmother's face, feeling the wrinkles, you know. And she said, "Grandmother, did God make you?" And grandmother said, "Well, yes, he did." And the little child said, "What, did God make me?" She said, "Well, yes, he did make you." He said, the child said, "Well, how come he made your face with all those rough places in it and mine is smooth?" He's just now turned 4 years old. No, 3 years old. Just turned 3.
This is you. Now you have 2 children and how many
5 grands.
5.
And 11 great grands.
Wow. Beautiful children around.
My grandson's wife's mother and father, the in-laws of my grandson, who's also the grandfather of this little fellow, came down here about 6 months ago, and they attended my Sunday school class downstairs that I teach every Sunday morning, and brought him with them. And that's when they did. That's when they made that picture.
So you are teaching a Sunday school class here
Every Sunday morning.
Wow.
At 9:30. When I came here in little over 4 years ago now, Miss Johnson, who was the administrator at the time, said, "You know, we need to start a Sunday school here in this place, and I'd like to ask you to do it. I'd like to ask you to teach it." And I said, "Well, Miss Johnson, I want to be a part of a church if I can. I don't want to tie myself up on Sunday morning. I want to go to church." And so, in March of that year, we moved in here in December. In March of that year, we joined the First Baptist Church at Fairburn. My wife and I both. We went up there and walked down the aisle and joined the First Baptist Church at Fairburn, thinking that we would go back and forth on Sunday morning, at least Sunday morning. To Fairburn Church was just 5 or 6 miles, you know. But 3 months later, she had another stroke, and it knocked her out from walking, virtually any kind of walking other than my help with a walker. And so then I said, "Well, since we can't get out of here on Sunday morning, I'm going to take that Sunday school class." So I believe it was in March. Yeah, March of 06. March of 06. I took the class, so I've been teaching it now for 4 years. And I've always said there, I have good attendance because they're captives. They can't get out. These dear people here, you know, they can't get out, so they come to my Sunday school class. And then I preach at Vesper service on the 3rd Sunday every month. I preach at 4 o'clock downstairs in the chapel. And then once a month, on the 3rd Monday, I teach a Bible class down in the chapel too, on the 3rd Monday morning. So I'm busy. It keeps me busy. And you know as well as I, Brother Wallace, you can't depend on what you know from way back yonder. You got to keep it fresh.
Indeed.
You got to keep the stuff coming.
Yeah, sure do.
Or you get stale. You get rotten.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rebecca, at their high school graduation, both of them graduated from Russell High School. Rebecca in 58 and Steve in 60. And of course you see great grandkids all over the place. They've taken
Now, do most of them live pretty close by?
Well, no, yeah, all except two. These two, they live in Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
These two live in Augusta. That picture on the left right there is our 50th anniversary, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But when she died, we were just short of 3 months being married 70 years.
Wow.
That was her parents right there. Our mother and dad.
Now, and they were in the same community you were
Yeah,
in?
in North Knoxville.
Now, were they in the Gillespie church
Both
too?
of them, all of them. The whole families.
Mm-hmm.
We go back way back
Mm-hmm.
in that Gillespie Avenue church. It runs all through that paper that I read.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's been a good church over the years and still doing very well.
I'm trying to think, was the pastor an uncle of yours?
J.K. Smith
Was your uncle?
Was my uncle by marriage.
Mm-hmm.
He married my mother's sister. He married us. Baptized me. And I think he did my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he did. Yeah. Fine old gentleman. Knew the Bible better than anybody I've ever seen.
Well, I noticed you said he was your greatest theologian coming up, and his walls just covered with all kinds of things that are precious. I know how precious they are. I just think that is wonderful.